Thank you for joining me on Beats of the Heart, Lyrics of the Soul. I got an expose and review for you, and we are getting into it right now. I wanted to do a different song for this video release, and then Eminem went and released his new album, and I wanted to highlight a song off of that. So today, we will be reviewing and lyrically analyzing Eminem's new song off his new album, Music to Be Murdered By. Now with this video, I'm not going to go into any information on Eminem. We all know who he is, we all know his story, we all know his career. If you don't, check it out. But this is a new song, and it's blowing up. If you haven't seen it yet, pause the video and click the suggested videos right here above my head. I have the links in the description also, and the videos of the songs are all organized in playlists on my channel. Let me know in the comments what you think of this song and what genres of music do you listen to on a regular. Now before we get into the song, I want to give you my take on what the darkness is. I believe the darkness Eminem is talking about in the song is drugs and alcoholism and the issues he went through, and the thoughts that arise when your mind is in that state. Because your mind wants nothing but its next fix. Eventually everyone you know and love gives up on you, leaving you alone in the darkness of the thoughts of your own mind, which due to the isolation will give you a majorly skewed world perspective. Hate and anger starts to grow towards everyone for no reason, especially yourself, because you caused it all through developing the addiction and not being able to fight it, and really knowing that the addiction is controlling you and you are helpless when alone in the darkness. This song portrays two stories using the same lyrics and words for both. It is all about the perspective of how you look at the lyrics. This song is written in a very creative way. The first two verses are sculpted like a statue to portray Eminem in his darkness before starting a concert, and the Las Vegas shooter going crazy in his hotel room in his darkness before he started shooting at the concert. We have this verse here. In the darkness, you're helpless, and no one can change the situation you're in but the person in the darkness, which is you. And then we have this verse here. Eminem opens the curtains and closes the curtains, not really ready to see and look out at the concert and the crowd that he's about to perform for. The shooter does the same thing, opens and closes the curtain again, not quite ready to look at all the people he is going to kill. Now with these lyrics here. Now Eminem saying this before a concert, the odds would favor him. Now if the shooter himself was saying this, the odds would favor the shooter. And here, Eminem is in the darkness. He has all the bad qualities that his father had. One more little taste of alcohol, take a snooze, it might make everything better, and then he'll go tear up the stage. And the shooter saying the same thing. He's in the darkness. The shooter's father was a bank robber, so, and more alcohol, take a snooze, and maybe he's ready too. And here again, Eminem is saying, forget about the beer, the Colt 45, he needs something stronger. Vodka, shot after shot after shot. He's getting loaded, drunk. The shooter saying, no pistols for me, I got a machine gun. Drinking round after round after round, his guns are getting loaded. So here Eminem is saying he's drugged. He can hear the opening act from the concert, and he can see the whole venue from the window for the concert that he's going to highlight at. The shooter can hear the concert music starting and can see the whole concert stage from his window. And with this line, Eminem keeps peeking out the curtain, hearing the loud music but not hearing a loud crowd. Disappointed that the size of the crowd is not as big as he had thought. And the shooter does the same. The shooter keeps peeking out the curtains, looking at the concert, hearing the loud music, but not hearing a loud crowd, and having second thoughts if this is actually the right time. And then again, Eminem's nervous that the crowd is so small, and he calms himself down, saying, "Hey, relax, you're Eminem, the people are gonna come." The headline artist can't come out until the crowd is full and murder the show with music. The shooter, worried the crowd is too small, says relax. Hope for it to be packed. You don't want to start shooting till the place is full. The shooter can't murder at a show nobody's at. And here, Eminem losing it before the show, at the showing of the small crowd, about to say, forget about the show, cancel it, just as the fans start to rush the entrance. His plan is to use his darkness, channeled through his music, to wreck the show. The shooter, panicking that not enough lives will be taken for whatever his reasoning, going to cancel, for him is aborting his plan. But then, fans rush the entrance, and the shooter is about to wreck the show. And with these lines, due to Eminem's concert, the press is about to go wild. Eminem is loaded with lyrical clips, got lines for all the hecklers, about to start the show, stumbles to the bathroom for Scope mouthwash, all of the drugs, he passes out with magazines all over the floor. The shooter, thinking about the 5 minutes of fame he will gain after the shooting, loaded with extra clips, got ammo for everyone, stumbles to get the scope for his gun. All the drugs gone, he passes out, gun magazines all over the floor. Now at this point, Eminem goes to the concert and rips up the stage lyrically, unleashing his darkness through his music, increasing his lifelong fame. The third verse is all about the shooter and what he did for his 5 minutes of fame. Who would want that kind of fame? I'm going to leave the third verse out completely. We all know what happens next and have heard the song. Particularly, in my opinion, the third verse wasn't needed in the song. The double entendre of the song and the concept of the song was accomplished in the first two verses. Now, Eminem, it seems, in this song was empathizing with the shooter by comparing his own sense of mental embattlement to the shooter's. But I believe Eminem is doing more than that. I think he is trying to show that we will all go through this darkness, even if it is not with drugs and alcohol. It all comes down to how we each handle it individually. I think Eminem is trying to accent that no matter how bad the darkness gets, put a positive spin on the darkness, and it becomes light. Let me explain. Eminem took his darkness and turned it into music that people loved, enjoyed, and had a good time listening to. He turned his darkness into a positive thing for others, therefore shining brightly through the darkness and spreading that light to his listeners. Eminem chooses to suffer in the darkness, negativity, but chooses to transform his darkness to light and spread it positively. The shooter took his darkness and caused death, destruction, murder, terror, and mayhem, spreading his darkness to every single person he involved in the situation. The victims, their friends, families, associates, acquaintances, emergency workers, and anyone who really hears about what the shooter did. The shooter chooses to suffer in the darkness negatively, but chooses to spread that darkness negatively. You can't have darkness without being able to access the light, and we all have that power. when we are in the darkness. We usually choose to act how we feel. If we feel negative, we act negative. So to get out of that darkness can be almost impossible. This whole song is about perspective. How you look at the lyrics determines who the song is about. But that isn't the only perspective. There is Eminem's perspective as well as the shooter's perspective. And all the perspectives seem right to the mind in question. The question is, what perspective will your mind take when you enter the darkness? Now, I could be wrong about all this, and I could just be reading too much into it, but I don't think so. A well thought out creative song and concept from Eminem is not a new thing. Thank you for joining me on Beats of the Heart, Lyrics of the Soul. I hope you enjoyed this song and review. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comments.